Josh, great to see you again. Welcome back to Pop Alternative.
Thank you for having me, man. How are you?
I'm really excited. I'm doing well, man, and I'm so happy for you because you just keep always having cool things coming out on the internet. Like congratulations.
That's
And
just the
on the
nature of
screen. Sorry,
how
not
you
just the
came up
internet, on
doing
the
all
big
that stuff.
screens.
Yeah, no, I'm still doing stuff on the internet, on the interwebs. I love it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And we're here. Roku's brought us together, obviously, to talk about Die Hard 3, Hard to Kill. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because it's like I feel like you have a lot of opportunities to kind of write and direct a lot of things, and from a director perspective, like this is a very unique project. Did you see this as a unique project, basically, like when you signed on to it, or did you not really
Oh,
think much about that?
completely. I
Yeah.
was, I've been a horror boy. There was a couple like, happy coincidences and unhappy coincidences. Like this came to me during the strike. And it was a job that could employ a lot of people in this country. A lot of stuff is filming outside of the US.
Yep.
And it was also a really fun idea. It was like, my buddy Luke Kelly-Clyne brought me the project and was like, we want this to be different than it's ever been done before. You get to work with an Academy Award winner. You can shoot. I was like, can I shoot on anamorphic lenses? It was like, what can I do to just kind of make it mine? He goes, whatever you want. And I got to, so I really took that opportunity to play with new toys. My first Russian arm, my first like working with Maria Rushi, the DP from Bottoms, and Shiva Baby for the first time.
So
It
good.
was awesome. It was a really fun opportunity. So I was just like, yes, let's stretch, like let's get people back to work. It was a nice
Well,
opportunity.
it's interesting, right? Because you started this conversation about kind of the horror movie component because you've written, directed, and worked in that genre and continue to do so. And it's like interesting because you have, in my opinion, like been kind of a trailblazer in this genre that continues to kind of evolve. I'm wondering if that comes to play with something like this project with Kevin Hart and Roku. Like, do you bring things from your horror movie things more element wise to something like this, or are they completely separate?
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, this has like components of a thriller. We played a lot of Basic Instinct soundtrack. We played a lot of Jerry Goldsmith on this, and I gave it to my composers, Chris Maxwell and Phil Hernandez, who composed "Scare Me," my first film, for like next to nothing. So
Yep.
this is also a great opportunity to go back to my homies who have done me favors and be like, "Hey, let's take this like Basic Instinct like erotic thriller vibe and put Kevin Hart in it." It was just like I don't know, a continued genre bend. That's my favorite thing to do.
Going to my homies for favors, aka indie filmmaking. Am I right?
Oh my God, completely,
Literally what it
completely,
is.
completely. And like you have to, you do one for you and one for them, and you always want to pay your homies back,
Yep.
right?
And
And
we
that's
all grow that way too, if you think about it, right? Everyone grows. Do you think that sometimes
oh
gets
yeah.
lost in translation sometimes, or do you think people are aware of that? Like the right people, so to speak.
That we all grow and change through this industry, through the madness of
And
this
like kind of
industry.
like that what you said, the give and take, the helping each other and everything. You know what I mean?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's pretty common. What you want to watch out for are people who are just like, let me just only take from you. Like, can you just do just one more favor, and then we'll, I try and like, I feel like I'm constantly calibrating like the superhero trading card bar is always moving for for my
Um,
buddies. Like, have I asked them too much? Have I? Yeah.
Absolutely. There's you should literally make a horror film with a guy just sitting in a cabin thinking about all that, and then he becomes insane. I think we're on to something.
Been there, baby.
I feel like every project you're gonna have kind of like learning experiences for specifically for this one for Die Hard 3. Like, what were some learning experiences that you're gonna be able to take for previous projects, for like future projects, so to speak? Because I feel like that's interesting. Like, whether you've been a set one time or thousands of times, you're always gonna learn something new.
The thing you always learn that I'm always like digging into, there's two things. There's the technical side. There's like, how can I communicate with a brand new crew from a technical standpoint and refine my communication skills, like especially the camera operators. We had an incredible camera operating team on
Mhm.
this one. We live in Atlanta and do all like the Marvel stuff.
Yep.
Constantly refining your communication skills with them, with my actors to make them as like clean and cool as possible and coherent as possible. And yeah, I mean, constantly learning how to balance communication between actors because
Mhm.
everybody needs something different. Like Anna Garcia, homie from Dropout is going to need something different than J.K. Simmons, than Kathryn Hahn, than
Mhm.
whatever. But the through line, I think, is that what I'm discovering and what I want to continue bringing in my stuff, and I'm bringing it to Hard Eyes, or brought it to Hard Eyes as well, my next
Mhm.
film, is that you have to make people feel comfortable in order for them to take chances. And I want my actors to feel
Mhm.
comfortable taking chances. I want them to take risks because that's how you get good movies and interesting
Mhm.
performances.
Yes, an opening to talk about Hard Eyes. We will get there, but I just want to kind of ask about, because Tripper's back on this series as well, right?
Oh
So I just
yeah.
kind of wanted to
Yeah.
know, like, are there a lot of conversations with him before going and doing your thing, or is it kind of less than we think? Because I feel like everyone has a game plan on like talking about things, but what's that like working with Tripper on this specifically?
Oh my God, invaluable. First of all, it's his baby, right? So I sat
Yeah.
down with him, like, what do you want out of this? What's your dream? He said, we all had the same dream, which was to let's make this different. Let's go a little darker. Let's up the stakes a little bit. The look, the feel, the vibe. And he was just there to not only make sure that we got what was scripted, but also do the same thing that I was doing effectively. He has relationships with all these actors, certainly with Nathalie and Kevin. So to be able to support me in describing circumstances and throwing out alternative lines and making sure we have like options to play with in the edit. It
Mhm.
was invaluable. And then he's also just like he's a treasure to hang out with. And we'd like, get a drink after and commiserate about other stuff. It was pretty awesome.
I'm pretty sure they made the release date for the new season of Die Hart like around you because it came out Friday the 13th, if you think about it, right? December 13th it came out. So I feel like you had something to do with that kind of,
Cool.
Josh. I'm just saying.
We had it was like the Hard Eyes teaser, I think was Halloween,
Yeah.
and then yeah, and then Friday the 13th was Die Hart, and it's some bad luck for Kevin. There's some bad shit that happens to him in the season. It's It's
Absolutely. Then check that
delightful.
out on the Roku channel. Okay. Hard Eyes. I got an opening. We can talk about it. Obviously, we know how it is. Trailers are coming out. People are going to be able to see it in the new year. What can you say? Like, I mean, it's like exciting. You have an amazing cast for this. Michael Kennedy. I just can't wait to see, like just Mason, like Olivia, Devin. Like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, what can you
Yeah.
say?
I can say the ensemble is unbelievable. I can say this is yet again another in my mission to make films that you can just put on and escape and have a good time, even as a comfort watch. That is the type of film I want to make. And for right now, when it's in theaters, the kind of film that, like my buddies Radio Silence make, you just want to bring 10 friends to
Mhm.
a Zach Kreger kind of movie you want to bring 10 friends to see what it's like. This one is a ride. It's as funny as it is scary. And
Screen gems,
the
baby. I'm all for it.
oh my God.
Screen gems, man. That's my jam.
It's the new Screen Gems. There's like new guard, and they're letting us do our thing. And I don't know, man. Like it's I had two films that came out during COVID that were supposed to have like theatrical moments where they pretty much stopped scaring me like right before we were
Oh,
about to have a
Werewolves
little
Within
run
was
at
supposed to
Alamo,
be in the theaters.
at Alamo for like a couple weeks.
Okay.
And then Werewolves was there. I remember because my buddy Janixa Bravo had Zola out. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so stoked. And COVID. So now is the moment where it's like, oh my gosh, it's finally open. I have a
Mhm.
film where people can go out and go see. And it is the type of film that is great for a date night, or great if you're like, fuck Valentine's Day.
It's interesting too because I really want like I was telling you before like I'm a filmmaker as well and I'm always watching things now with like that filmmaker mind now and I'm wondering, I don't know if it's because I just watch a lot of horror movies, but like I'll watch things and then they're not horror movies, but I'll like think of them or be like, that has moments of a horror movie. Do you know what I mean by that a little bit? Like I was like thinking about that watching like some like the last season of The White Lotus because the new season's coming out. I remember, like,
Oh,
I don't know,
yeah.
did you see the last season of White
Yeah,
Lotus? That whole
absolutely.
scene on the yacht where she's figuring out what's going on, that's like a horror movie if you think about it.
That's what makes a great horror movie, is just characters that you can follow, that you're invested in. In that
Mhm.
case, it's like, oh my God, Jennifer Coolidge. It's like anything you make, you want people to be invested in your characters. You want them to be
Mhm.
vulnerable. You want to follow them and just watch them, like, get rocks thrown at them in the tree, so to speak.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And like, like Michael Haneke's like both of them like funny games, right? It's just kind of those shots of just kind of like like I'm realizing like there's some moments where that movie is just shots of people just looking terrified and there's nothing else happening. You know what I mean? There's no jump scares. Like, do you think about that? Do you think of new ways to scare people being kind of one of these trailblazers in the genre? Like, is that something you think about a lot, Josh? Like, how can I scare people without kind of like the traditional kind of elements? Because you talk about genre bending, right?
Certainly on my next thing for sure. If you're doing something that's like a true horror film, you're also thinking about scares. But
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about that stuff. And then what you want to try and avoid is being in the edit like I've been and be like, oh man, it would have been great if he was right behind her. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Oh, absolutely. But no, I'm really like honestly, man, like I'm really happy for you. You're someone that I do look up to in this industry, man. So congratulations of everything you have going on. And
Thank
I
you.
can't wait for people to check out Hard Eyes when it comes out. We just gotta play that waiting game. And then obviously they can watch the new season of Die Hart 3 on the Roku channel. Josh, so good chatting with you again. Thank you so much, man.
So good chatting with you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and your Instagram account is just your name if people want to keep up to date with everything, right?
That's right. That's right. Just my name. Thanks,
Awesome.
dog.
Dude, thank you so much, man. Really, really appreciate it. It was really great chatting with you again, man. Really happy for you, honestly.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I'm stoked for you too. I'm
So, dude,
stoked for you
yeah, I
too.
got a lot going. We should talk and keep up because, like, honestly, Popternative is like the media outlet, but now we have Popternative Pictures. I got 5 films coming out of the 2024-2025. I'm an executive producer.
Wow.
I'm an executive producer on David Desmalchian's next film, The Cure.
Wow. Oh shit, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Is that the one that he did with Katie Siegel?
No, that's the one. No, this is the one he did with Ashley Green.
Oh, cool.
So
That's
I'm on an
amazing.
EP on that. Sawtooth Mountain, which is like a Bigfoot thriller. Dread Central that just did a first look. We're in post right now that has Sydney Scotia, who's in It's a Wonderful Knife, and Landon Liberon from Hemlock Grove and True
Yeah.
for Dare. So I'm a producer on
Yeah.
that. And In Flight just
Wow.
came out with Crystal Fernandez from Ted Lasso. It's like a plain thriller with gravitas. So those are the 3 Pop Turner Pictures films. And then I would love you to watch Adjoining. I wrote it, came from my brain. It's like a motel thing with Brenna D'Amico from The Descendants and Carter
Wow.
Glade from Freaky. And it's like I wrote it and it's been doing really well in the film festivals. So if you ever have a chance, it's 11 minutes.
Amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I will. That's awesome. Congratulations, man. I'm stoked for you.
Thank you so much. And keep like you never know, man. Like maybe one day, we're thinking about doing something together. You never know, man. Like just there's so much happening right
Never
now.
know. You never know, dude. It'd be
Yeah.
awesome. It'd be
Yeah,
awesome. Well,
absolutely.
thank
Keep
you
in
so
touch
much
and
again, man.
yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Talk soon.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.